Hey everyone, welcome back to Pro2 DIY. In today's video, we're diving straight into part 2 of our Retrofit Projector Headlamp series for Proton Wira. Alright, here's the plan. First, I'll walk you through how to take out your car's headlamp, step by step. Super easy to follow. Then, we'll take it up a notch by installing a projector to give your headlights a cool, customized style. In part 1 of this video, I already shared how to make a custom projector wiring harness that fits perfectly with the Proton Wira headlamp wiring. If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry. I've got the link for you down below. Be sure to check it out so you're ready with all the prep work and tools you'll need for today's project. This is going to be a fun and simple upgrade. So grab your tools, stick around, and let's get started turning your headlights into something amazing. Let's go. Next step, let's get those headlights out. Head to the front, lift the bonnet, and secure it with the prop rod. To make sure your projector is perfectly aligned, grab a ruler and make a mark on the top of your headlamp. This mark should line up with the body of your car, pointing dead straight ahead. Next up, we'll need to jack up the car. But before we do that, pop some wheel chocks behind the rear wheels. Position the jack stands under the car's support points. Gently release the jack so the car rests securely on the stands. For safety, start by disconnecting the car battery. Loosen the negative and positive terminals. Remove the battery holder and take out the battery. This will give you more space and keep you safe when working with electrical parts. Next, take out the spare tank by loosening the two 12mm screws. Once they're off, lift the spare tank and set it aside to clear the area for easier access. There are only 2 screws holding the front grille, so remove them to take the grille off. This gives you better access to the bumper and other parts. Now remove the bolts under the bumper. You'll need an extension bar since the bolts are deep inside. Use a 12mm socket to remove the 4 bolts, 2 on each side. Next, check the ends of the bumper for screws that attach it to the fender. Also, look along the lower edge of the bumper for plastic clips. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to gently pry them out. Now, gently pull the bumper out a little. Then disconnect the sport light cables on both sides. Once everything is detached, carefully pull the bumper off and set it aside. Find the hook spring that holds your turn signal lamp in place. You'll need to gently pull this spring inward to unhook it. Once it's free, slide the turn signal lamp forward and pull it out. After it's out, pop the bulb out of its housing. Set the turn signal lamp housing aside for now. Next, move to the back of the headlamp. You'll see a few electrical connectors attached to the bulbs. Unplug the H4 connector from the main headlamp bulb. Next, find the second bulb right next to it. Just grab it, twist it, and the bulb housing will come right off. Now, we're going to take out the headlamp assembly. You'll need a 10mm socket wrench for this. There are 2 bolts at the back of the headlamp. Then head over to the side of the assembly, and you'll find another 2 bolts there. Carefully remove these bolts and keep them in a safe spot so you don't lose them. Wiggle the headlamp loose and pull it straight out from your vehicle. Once the headlamp is out, you'll see a big gray dust cap covering the bulbs, so remove it. The bulbs is secured with simply clipped into place. Gently unclamp the bulb and remove it from the housing. Next, we need to remove the glass lens from the headlamp housing. You'll see 4 clips holding the lens in place. Use a flathead screwdriver to pry these clips out. 2 clips will be at the top of the headlamp and 2 more at the bottom. Now this part is important. The lens is usually sealed with a strong adhesive, so we need to soften it to safely separate the lens from the housing. This is where the heat gun comes in. Gently heat the edges of the headlamp focusing on the area where the lens meets the housing. Move the heat gun back and forth along the edge to make sure the heat is evenly distributed. Don't hold the heat gun in one spot for too long, as too much heat could warp the plastic. Once the glue is soft, grab your pry tools. Carefully slide them between the lens and housing and start gently prying it open. If you spot a small gap, you can try pulling it apart by hand, but don't force it. This is where patience is key. Take your time and go slow. Keep it steady, and you'll be able to open it up without cracking the lens or damaging the housing. All right, once you've got the headlight housing and lens split, it's time to remove the chrome reflector. To do that, loosen the 2 screws at the back of the headlamp housing. These are the aiming screws. Just turn them counterclockwise and you'll see the chrome reflector start to loosen up. Now you can pull the reflector out, but be careful. There's a plastic ball joint inside that clips it to the housing. It's pretty fragile, so take it slow and pull gently to avoid breaking anything. Next, take out the factory bowl that's sitting in the middle of the reflector. It's held in place by a couple of screws, so just unscrew them and the bowl will come right out. Next, we got to make a small cut at the top of the reflector. Sounds a bit tricky, but don't worry. It's just a tiny trim to give us the room we need to adjust the projector properly. This little step makes fine-tuning the beam way easier, so you get that perfect light output. I'll be using a grinder to remove that small particular piece. Be sure to wear safety glasses to protect your eyes and gloves to avoid any hand injuries. Taking these simple precautions will keep you safe, so always get properly equipped before grinding. Safety first. Check this out. This is the H4 adapter ring. It's what holds the projector and reflector together. See those 3 notches? After making that cut, you can rotate the ring and line up the top notches with the red line we marked earlier. That's the key to getting the projector perfectly centered. Usually, when you buy a projector, it typically comes with several components. It came with a cover or shroud to protect the lens and conceals the metal parts of the projector, giving the headlight a neat and professional appearance. It also includes 2 rubber washers to minimize vibrations and ensure a secure fit, 2 adapter rings to accommodate different setups, a bulb holder to keep the HID bulb in place, and a locking nut to firmly secure everything in place. Start by attaching the projector shroud to the projector using the 4 screws that come with it. Now, grab the big rubber gasket and place it at the back of the projector. Next, pop the projector into the hole of the reflector housing. Use the H4 adapter ring and attach it at the back of the projector. With the H4 adapter ring placed behind the projector, there's a small nub here. Make sure the nub is pointing upward, following the guideline marked earlier in the video. Secure it with the locking nut, but don't tighten it just yet. We'll need to adjust the position. We're going to ensure this projector is aligned perfectly perpendicular. The inner side of the reflector here is horizontal, so we'll align the projector parallel to that horizontal line. We'll carefully adjust the rotation until both sides match up precisely. As you can see, both sides are now perfectly aligned and parallel to each other. And that's it. The projector is now correctly aligned rotationally. To securely attach the projector to the reflector, I'll be using Extra Seal epoxy putty, which offers a strong adhesive bond capable of withstanding vibrations and driving conditions. To use it, cut the required amount of putty, then mix both components resin A and hardener B in equal parts. Although this step is optional, I choose to do it as a precaution to prevent vibrations from shifting the projectors. Once blended, shape it into a roll and evenly spread it around the entire perimeter where it connects to the reflector. Make sure to mix enough epoxy to cover the entire perimeter. Spread that epoxy around the reflector hole. Smooth, even layer. Next, grab the H4 adapter, line it up with the markings on the reflector, and lock it down with the nut. Twist it tight so it's rock solid while the epoxy does its thing. Now grab the bulb holder, the spot your H1 bulb will go. Line it up with the holes and screw it in using those 3 tiny screws from the kit. Tighten it down so it's super secure. All right, let's get this HID bulb in. You'll want the ground wire pointing down, that's the 6 o'clock position. Just slide the bulb into the projector. Easy as that. Now grab the bulb clip, place it over the bulb, and hook both ends into their slots. To lock it in properly, push the clip down, then slide it to the left. Make sure the bottom of the clip hooks into both catches. Give the bulb a gentle wiggle, just to double check it's snug and not rattling around. Next, we're going to feed the solenoid wires through the rubber boot. This boot acts like a weather shield, keeping moisture and dust from getting into the headlight housing. Before we install the lens, let's check the projector beam alignment one more time. Power up your low beam and project it onto a flat wall. The beam should have a clean, straight cutoff line. If it's level and sharp, go ahead and reassemble everything the same way it came out. Thread the HID bulb harness wires back through the rubber boot. Then slide the reflector back into the headlamp housing. Then pop the glass lens back on. Now let's reseal the headlamp. Use a heat gun to warm the edge of the headlamp so the factory seal butyl rubber softens. Set the heat gun to medium. Hold it 6 to 8 inches away and move it slowly around the edge. Start clamping from one side and work your way around. Apply even pressure as it cools. If the fit is tight, warm it up a bit more and keep clamping. Make sure no spots cool unevenly, or they might come loose later. All right, the headlamp resealing job is done. All the seals are tight and neat, but there was just one thing that felt a little off. The chrome reflector inside looked way too plain, too factory standard. Not really the look I was going for. So I decided to give it a more aggressive, custom vibe with a coat of flat black spray paint. I used a heat gun to help the drying process. Not only did it dry faster, but the finish came out way smoother, giving it this even flat black matte look. Like I mentioned earlier, the lens is held to the headlamp housing by 4 small clips, 2 positioned at the top and 2 tucked away at the bottom. All I had to do was press them in gently and click. They popped right back in like they were never out. The whole thing fit nice and snug, solid and secure. And here's where it all comes together. I swapped in a new set of smoked signal lights to perfectly match the blacked out headlamps. This final adjustment gives the front end a sharp, aggressive edge, elevating the car's overall look with a custom, eye-catching style. To get everything working properly, you'll need a ballast and 1 wiring kit for each bulb. Now, let's talk about mounting the ballast. You want to pick a location that makes wire routing easy and safe. Avoid hot zones. Anything near the engine, pulleys, or belts is a no-go zone. I'm mounting the ballast just behind the signal light, right next to the headlamp. It's tucked away, safe from heat, and still easy to access. The ballast casing has 4 mounting tabs with pre-drilled holes, so you've got options. You can use screws and nuts for a rock-solid setup, or keep it quick and easy with some cable ties. All right, before we hook up the wiring kit to the ballast, we've got to make a bit of space first. Go ahead and remove 1 or 2 relays, just enough to give some space. Once that's sorted, feed the harness through and plug it into your custom wiring kit. You'll notice 2 wires coming from the ballast. These go straight to the HID bulb. Take a few extra seconds to line everything up along existing wiring paths. Then grab your cable ties and lock everything down tight. Secure the harness in multiple places if needed. This not only looks cleaner, but it helps avoid heat damage, vibrations, or wear and tear from rubbing against sharp edges. Next, grab your H4 connector from the kit and plug it into the lamp's original H4 connector. This is what delivers power to your new headlight. Bundle everything neatly with a cable tie. Next, slide your headlight assembly into place and secure it with a 10mm bolt. Moving on to the signal lamp, pop in the bulb, attach the spring, then reconnect its wire to the original socket and slide it back in. Now let's wire up the parking light, also known as the lampu keciak. Grab the HID bulb wires and connect them directly to the ballast output. Push them in until you hear click. That means it's locked in, nice and snug. Next, hook up the solenoid wires for your high beam function. Don't forget to ground your HID kit. Take the black wire, the negative one, and connect it to the car's body. Find a nearby bolt on the chassis, but make sure the surface is clean and bare metal. If there's paint or rust, sand it down first. A dirty ground can cause flickering or the lights not working at all. Use a ring terminal on the wire, tighten it down, and make sure it's solid. Let's go ahead and reinstall the front bumper. Make sure it fits snugly, and don't forget to reconnect the spotlight socket while you're at it. Next up, install the front grille. Once it's lined up properly, secure it with 2 screws, one on each side of the grille. Now, let's get the battery back in. Carefully place it into position, then fit the battery holder over it. Secure the holder using a 12mm socket on both the left and right sides to keep everything locked in tight. With that done, grab the spare coolant tank and put it back in its original spot. Slide the hose back into place and fasten the tank using the 2 original bolts. Those are also 12mm. All right, now we're nearly done. Jack up the car slightly, just enough to safely remove the jack stands from underneath. Once those are out, gently lower the vehicle back to the ground. Your headlight upgrade is complete. Looks cool, right? But before you jump in and take off, there's one last step you don't want to skip. Headlight alignment. Now, projector headlights are all about precision. They're built to focus light exactly where you need it. But if they're not aimed correctly, you're not just missing out on performance, you're putting yourself and others at risk. If the beams are aimed too high, you're going to blind oncoming traffic. Too low, your visibility takes a hit, especially on dark, unlit roads. You'll end up driving half blind, and that's a disaster waiting to happen. Properly adjusted headlights give you a clear, focused view of the road ahead, helping you spot obstacles early, stay in your lane, and drive safely at night. I'll cover how to adjust the beams properly in a separate video. This will be part 3 of the Projector Headlamp series. But for now, let's fire this thing up and see it in action. Flip the switch, and the full brightness kicks in. All right, guys, check this out. See that sharp cutoff line from the projector headlights? Perfectly level, left to right. I just finished adjusting and aligning the projector headlights, and this is exactly what you want to see when it's done right. When your lights are aimed like this, the beam stays low and super clean, lighting up the road exactly where you need it without blinding other drivers. Now, let's take these out for a spin and see them work in real nighttime conditions. They're insanely bright. We're talking 2 or 3 times brighter than the old stock halogen bulbs. The difference is night and day, literally. What really blew me away, though, wasn't just the brightness. It's the beam pattern. Super wide, long reach, and crystal clear coverage across the road. You'll spot lane markers, road signs, and even stuff way off to the side, way before you would with your old setup. Now, this upgrade doesn't just look awesome. It makes driving at night so much better. So if you're thinking about switching from halogen to projectors, just do it. HID projectors are crazy bright, super sharp, and built for performance. Definitely a no-brainer for me. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and stick around for the next video. All the tools and products I used are linked down in the description below. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button, and it really helps the channel grow. And a big shout out to all of you who've been following along and supporting the channel. You guys are amazing. Drop a comment below if you've got questions, tips, or just want to say what you're working on. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Use this information at your own risk. Any injury, damage, or loss that may result from improper use of any tools and equipment, or from the information contained in this video, the user must take responsibility. If you think this video helpful for you, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy cautiously and good luck. Pro2 DIY.